Welcome to Notebook, a program of interest to the St. Lucie County community that features information about St. Lucie County schools. Guests include school district and community leaders with focus on children in our community.
Hello and welcome to our latest edition of Notebook. We are glad you're here with us, and if this is a show that connects us with community officials, school district personnel, and just organizations around the Treasure Coast that really connect with families and children around St. Lucie County. And I'm Jane Whitaker, and I'm going to serve as your host for this next half hour. And we are really excited about a program that we're going to get to share with you today, especially with the holidays coming up. A great opportunity for us to be able to share with the needs of others. And of course, this program is extra special because it's really not just geared toward the holiday season, but year round to meet the needs of our kids here in St. Lucie County. So I want to introduce our guest for today. With us, we have Miss Lisa Ferrick, and she is with St. Lucie County Public Schools, and she serves as the field manager with the Children's Nutrition.
Yes, ma'am.
And a huge component of the success of our public school system, and I know she's going to share with us a little bit more about what you do. And we also have the director of Grace Packs, which is the program that we're going to be talking about today, and this is Laura Klosterman. So we're glad to have you both. Thanks so much for being here. Very excited to hear this. I actually came across the program kind of by accident. I was in the hallway a couple of weeks ago, and Dr. Perry had mentioned that we were going to be hosting a lot of the boxes throughout the district office. And then the very same day, Ron Barr, who is kind of overseeing our drive at the district office, sent an email out about it. So it was like, okay, this is what we're supposed to be having on our show. I don't think it was any accident. So, but just for us to get to know you a little bit, I always like to have the guest just share a little bit about you, your kind of professional journey. How did you end up in the position that you're in? So tell us a little bit about yourself.
When I had my son Joseph in 1994, I was looking for a career, something that would keep me home, you know, spend the most time I could with him, summers off, weekends off, because I was working weekends and nights. So I was introduced to food service, excuse me, and I eventually worked my way up the ladder from food service assistant to manager. I was manager at St. Lucie Elementary for almost 9 years. And my son got to come to school with me every day, so it was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then I got a promotion to Okamic, where I was cafeteria manager there for another 8 years. And that's where my passion began. I just loved feeding children.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's nothing better than them coming through the lines or through the day, you know, through the hallways, wherever it is you see them. They just smile and appreciate what you're doing for them. And yeah, that's a great place to be. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And Laura, share with us a little bit about yourself as well.
Well, my teaching career began in Indiana, where I taught the hearing impaired. I was an itinerant teacher, and I moved back to my home state of Ohio, where I taught, again, the deaf and hard of hearing, along with students with varying exceptionalities. And then I had the opportunity to relocate here to Florida. So I taught in West Palm Beach for a while. And then when I came to Port St. Lucie, I taught reading at Centennial, and then moved to Okamic and taught the hearing impaired and deaf there. And then our program started rolling, and in 2013, it just seemed like a perfect time for me to complete my teaching career and start working with Grace Packs on a full-time basis.
Very good. So this is where the partnership began, was actually at Okamic then.
Yes.
And I didn't realize before we started the show, I'm also from Ohio.
Are you?
So when you said the great state of Ohio,
Yes.
we always make
You're
those
a
little
Buckeye, yeah.
Midwest connections, yeah. Well, many of the viewers, just like including myself, may not be aware of really what the Grace Packs is really about. So I know you said it started in 2014 or 13. Is that correct?
It started in 2011.
Okay, all right.
And Lisa and I both really felt the same call, that we were supposed to start a program to feed our hungry kids. And to be honest, we really went through just a wonderful journey of faith, because we had no idea where we were going to acquire enough food or finances to sustain this program. And so we know that God provided for us really through our school personnel and through our community members, and we have been amazed at the outpouring. And so we really saw that we just started with a couple little children, and we really saw that as we expanded, that other schools were interested, and that we were able to continue, and ultimately we're really pleased that we have gained our 501c3 tax exempt status, and we are considered a nonprofit now.
Very good.
Yeah.
What a great partnership. Now, what other schools right now in St. Lucie County are part of this program?
We started at Okamic, and then Morningside was the second school, Westgate, Allapattah Flats, Lakewood Park, Mariposa, Dan McCarty, Southport, Savannah Ridge, White City, Weatherby, and St. Lucie West K through 8.
Boy, that's pretty
She can say that in her sleep.
That's very impressive. Very impressive. Well, you know, I think a lot of our viewers really are not aware of the food need, especially when it comes to our kids, especially in the Treasure Coast, because you don't necessarily relate our area to there being kids who are going without food. You know, a lot of, you know, not even just the weekends, but during the evenings too. And a lot of our kids are, you know, the food that they get during the day at school is sometimes really the only meal they get. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about the statistics a little bit. I know in your brochure, which is so well done and just provided so much great information, talk to us a little bit about the statistics that are really relevant to St. Lucie County, because like I said, even as a district employee and being, you know, I've been a teacher in the district for 17 years, and sometimes you just don't realize being at certain schools that you're at that there really is such a significant need. Share with us a little bit about that.
Everywhere, especially being in the cafeteria, seeing the students, you know, come through the line, and you can tell the ones that are hungry, that try to take the extra food. I had a little girl one time that refused to eat her lunch, and she was an 8th grader, and it was brought to my attention, and I brought her in my office, and she was actually taking the food from her lunch tray and putting it in her backpack because her and her siblings were staying in a hotel, and that was her dinner. And she refused to eat it. But finally I got her to eat it, and then I kind of introduced her to Grace Packs, you know, so.
Right.
And the need is great. And as a teacher, I have to admit, I really didn't know the need either until we really got started with this. But we have found that Feeding America every year releases statistics all across the nation, both for states and for each separate county. And the 2015 statistics for St. Lucie County show that 27.8% of our kids are hungry. And it shows that a lot of students are food insecure. And a food insecure person is generally described as one who does not know from where his or her next meal will come.
Right. Wow. That's a huge percentage.
It is.
And, you know, generally speaking, you know, if someone would have asked me, you know, what's percentage, you know, you might be in the single digits. You know, I think most people, if we were to go out on the street and just say, you know, what percentage do you think? I think most of them would think it's very low, but
Yes.
That's a significant amount of children.
Yes.
So I noticed too in one of the, I think it was in the brochure, that as I was reading it, that we're even seeing, since this program has started, what a significant change it's done in our schools, especially in the clinics.
Yes, ma'am.
Share with us a little bit about that, because I would have never made that connection had that not been in that brochure.
Well, it's a lot of word of mouth when it comes to something like that. We had a lot of communication with the nurses in the front office. On Monday morning, the children are coming to the office, you know, asking to go to the clinic because they didn't have enough to eat over the weekend. They were complaining of stomach aches and headaches. And so we talked to the nurse. She kind of keeps track of it for us. at Okamic, and she said there is a significant decrease in the children coming in on Monday morning, because she knows the ones who are Grace Packs recipients, and she can tell a big difference since we started the program.
Right.
So
that's amazing. And just because I can remember even being in a classroom, you know, Monday was always a very busy day, and,
Yes.
and not putting it together, you know, even being at a school site, that could have been a possibility, that it was just something as simple as that, you know, making
Yep.
sure that they've got something in
Something
their,
to eat.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I know you rattled off quite a list of schools that are part of it through St. Lucie County. Currently, do you guys have other districts that are starting to find out more about this program? Is that kind of your goal, is to, you know, continue that ripple effect to get to other districts as well?
actually, our Miss Laura's real goal is, well, we want to have it in every school in the district.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. And then before you know it, it'll be district after district, could be, you know.
That's our dream.
Well, like
Yeah.
Laura's scared, you know, because I was in food service. I'm still in
Right.
food service at
Right.
18 years, so it's nothing for me to feed 1,200 kids in a day, okay?
You could do that in your sleep,
Right.
probably. Yeah.
So I keep teasing Laura that we're going to become so big that we're going to need a warehouse like
Yeah.
Treasure Coast Food Bank, and I'll be in my little van, you know, delivering the Grace Packs. That kind of scares Laura.
It
so.
really scares me. And that's our dream, that we can go to all of our schools here in St. Lucie County.
Sure.
And one thing I didn't mention was the percentage of 27.8% of our kids being food insecure. That translates to 17,090 kids. And so while we're very happy to be in 12 schools, we really know we're only touching the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
And along with clinic visits, if anyone is watching and really wants to know what are some of the signs of food insecurity, what would a child do if they are hungry? In a classroom, we know with Kids at Hope, many schools have the Kids at Hope program, and we know that many kids have a trusted adult that they'll go and share with. We know that kids are going to the clinic sick. We know that in the cafeteria, some kids are hoarding food. And other kids just have trouble attending in class, and they may seem really lethargic. These might be signs for school personnel to know that child may be showing that they are hungry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a great way to, you know, that could even be something to share at a staff meeting at some point, you know, because I can remember even as a kid, you know, kids that would be, you know, hiding food in their pockets or stuffing it under their shirt, or, you know, back then we didn't have backpacks, but we had lunch boxes, and but I can remember, you know, a couple of different kids that, you know, the teacher would ask for it back, you know, what do you have in your pocket, you know, and I'm sure not really, you know, that awareness even back, you know, when I was a kid, I'm sure wasn't something that, you know, was really out there, you know, to be aware of. So making those connections for teachers that are still in the classroom would be huge. That would be a neat little thing to maybe even share at a staff meeting, which would be great.
Yes.
Well, of course, the holidays are coming up, and I know I want to make sure that the viewers are aware that this is a year-round program. This isn't just during the holidays, but what's really cool that as a district, we're really beginning to hit the ground running with really supporting what you're doing, and it's so amazing what you've accomplished in a little bit of time, and how it's just started with one school, and look at your list. I mean, that's got to be so rewarding, I know, for both of you.
Absolutely.
So, because it's a year-round program, is there a central location that people could actually come and donate throughout the year? How can the community really get involved? I guess that's my biggest thing. I want you to have so much food that you won't know what to do.
See, the warehouse. We need the warehouse.
That's where,
that'll be right.
Work on that next.
That's
Work
right.
on
That's
that
where our new website, you know, gracepacks.org comes in.
Okay.
We have a PayPal set up there. I'm at district office. If you know, well, not always there, but you know, food can always be dropped off at district office
Right.
anytime.
Okay.
And another nice feature on our website, we have a section that highlights each school. And so on our Take Action page, there is one of the drop-down windows shows all of the emails, the Grace Packs emails for each school. So let's say a community member has a certain school they want to embrace. They can email that school and set up a delivery time and perhaps deliver food at the front office, and they'll make sure it gets to the pantry. And we've been seeing this really great thing of packing parties. We know the district's going to host a major packing party in December. We have several churches that have hosted packing parties, and it's a wonderful community event where people bring in food and line it up on the table, and they pack completed Grace Packs so they can deliver actual completed packs to the schools. And that's been a really big help as well.
That was going to be my next question, was who actually does the packing during the school year? I know you're going to have a huge drive here very shortly, but is that something that this food service
Each school,
people usually does
they're
it?
individually, the way that they feel is best for them. Every school is different, they're
Right.
unique. Some, the cafeteria staff helps, the ESE students help pack.
That's awesome.
Kind of giving back, learning how to
Sure.
give back to the community. We have PTO that does a lot. At one school, we have the Girl Scouts that
Girl
come
Scouts.
in
Really? I
and,
love that.
and help pack at Mariposa. So
It's a community effort.
it's a
I mean,
team
it
effort
is. Right.
of everyone.
And everything is just coming together so well.
It is,
Yeah.
and that's what we're so excited about. We're excited that we are seeing kids being able to help their hungry peers. And as a former ESE teacher, I'm just so proud of our ESE classes that are helping, because they're being leaders in the school by doing that.
Sure.
So that's sort of close
And
to my
what a
heart.
reward for them. Just,
It
you know,
is.
personal reward.
Yes.
That's awesome. How are students actually identified to be, is this something school-based? How does that really
Again,
happen?
it's word of mouth. You know, the teacher, we communicate with the front office, the clinic. You know, if they continually see the same student come in, communicating with the cafeteria manager. And then we send a letter home if we feel there's a need, that they have been identified, you know, to find out. Some parents are really proud out there.
Right.
They,
And
they
you
don't
understand
want
that,
it,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So we do send a letter home saying that they've been identified, and let them know about the Grace Pack program, and they can respond back if they would like to be interested, or they can decline it.
Okay, because that was going to be my next question, you know, if parents, if that was something that they were interested in, or again, and you understand the feelings of that, which I totally understand that. How are the packs distributed to the kids? On Fridays, I'm guessing, because it's really meant for the weekends. So, do the kids usually come from the classroom, and it's done very discreetly? Tell
Very
us about
discreetly.
that.
Every school is different.
Right.
One school, they have them go, certain grades go to the library, the other ones go to the clinic, the babies go to the clinic. Some schools, whatever fits their need, they go down to the cafeteria. So it's really different in each school, but it's done discreetly, you know, put in backpacks. We had a big donation from an attorney that actually were the backpacks, and we distribute them throughout. That way they can put the Grace Pack right in the backpack, and
Exactly.
Yeah.
so that was pretty nice.
And I
Yeah.
think our schools are just using their available resources.
Sure.
So every school sort of follows the same plan to get that food into the child's hands, and yet they just have so many different ways to do it. So, and I think confidentiality, we really want to honor our kids and their families, because I think that would be very hard as a child to go and get
absolutely.
food. And having said that, some kids are so proud to have it that
They
you
are.
can see them walking like they're holding it close to them as they walk back to their classroom.
Yeah.
So it just depends on each child.
Each child and kind of how they're feeling.
It does.
I remember a teacher came to me one day with a little girl. She wasn't on Grace Packs yet, and it was around the holidays. I think it was like Valentine's Day, you know, nothing big. And the teacher had asked her what she wanted for the holiday, and she just said, "More food in my home." So yeah, she was only like second grade, and it broke my heart. So needlessly to say, she got a Grace Pack to take over the weekend, you know.
The
But
soft heart, yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know we had we had talked earlier that the district office is doing a drive, and I know Ron was really excited about having you guys on the show today.
He's awesome.
He is.
He's
and
awesome.
he was so excited. But he's going on a cruise.
I
which,
know.
yeah. I said, we would love to have you, because he was so excited about what was going to, what we could possibly accomplish, with getting this out in the community, and but going, with it being the holiday, getting ready. He was getting ready for a cruise to head out.
Yeah.
But he wanted me. One of the things that he mentioned in his email that our goal as a district is as a district office,
Right.
not necessarily through the schools, but the district office with the employees that are centrally located there, was 1,000 pounds, and I just really believe we're going to surpass that. And,
I do too.
Yeah, and just walking through the hallways and some of the offices and already seeing the boxes
I already have a
overflowed.
closet full.
Yeah, and in fact, the other day, I think it was Monday, I was there, and it was already overflowing, and the next day I come back in and it's empty, and they're ready to fill it up again, which is so exciting. So tell us too, I noticed some of the things, I was kind of peeking in the boxes just to see what items were being donated, but what are the best items? Give us some suggestions. If someone couldn't maybe do a monetary donation, maybe they could provide some food in their pantry. So maybe give us some suggestions on what you
We have a
think
whole
about that.
list out on the website again.
Okay.
We really accept anything. No glass jars, nothing that's expired, of course. I like to see things with the pop tops, the beefaronis and cans.
Sure.
Like I was telling you about the little girl who was living in a hotel. They didn't have a can opener to open them up, so I like to see the pop tops. Cereal. We're trying to get more fruit, a lot of canned
Fresh fruit,
fruit,
right.
or the little cups. We like to try to put 2 dinners in there, 2 breakfasts, a snack, and some kind of juice, and some kind of healthy raisins, something like that, something just to tie them over for the weekend.
Okay. Awesome.
No glass jars.
No glass jar, yeah.
It's hard giving it to a little baby,
Sure.
with in a
Yeah.
backpack, and he's
that probably
running down the hall
and
with a
it
glass
probably
jar.
wouldn't make it home.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, and I'm guessing as if we are able to go on to your website, that we'll see a lot of this information. These are beautiful, and you said your sister designed these.
She did. I'm
Very
so
nice.
proud of her.
Yeah, and some. Oh, I love it. You've even got some volunteers who have shared a little bit of their experiences, which is
Yes.
awesome. And the one thing I wanted to note too was just making sure that the food's not expired.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
That's a huge thing. And
It's a
I
huge
know we used to do a lot of work with the mustard seed, and that was one of the things that we really, try to be sure, don't give the kids something that you wouldn't want to
Right,
eat yourself.
absolutely.
Exactly.
And get rid of things that are.
Time to clean the pantry out.
Exactly. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah. And I wanted to just share with the audience. I was just reading your mission statement, so I wanted to share that really quick. And it just says, Grace Pack's mission is to provide weekly, weekend food packages for students in need. The goal is to provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner food items at the end of each school week to students whose families may be food insecure. And what an opportunity for us to be able to make a difference around this county for as many children as we possibly can.
Yes.
We're close to the end of our time together, and just is there anything that we haven't covered that I want to make sure that the audience has got a clear picture of what the mission of this program is about, but is there anything in particular that maybe you would like to share with us before we close?
I think the thing that has given me the most happiness is just to see children and adults using their given talents and abilities to come up with ideas to raise food, or to garner food or financial support. And so really, we've used hundreds of people in the community, their ideas to help support our kids. So it's definitely an event where anyone can help. If someone has a passion to feed kids, we need you, and we would love to hear from you.
Right.
That would be what I would say.
Oh, and how rewarding to be able to put time in for
Yes.
what a better cause than helping kids. Yeah, and we really want to encourage our viewing audience to be sure and check out gracepacks.org. Is that
Yes.
correct? And we want to make a difference in feeding a child one at a time. That was kind of
Yes,
one of
ma'am.
the things Lisa shared.
Feeding one student at a time,
Yeah.
because no child should have to go hungry.
Ever, yeah.
No.
And what is really amazing is that ripple effect that you've been able to create, and starting off with one school, and it only takes one to start, you know, just making that difference from place to place and child
Yes.
by child.
Yes.
So we really want to encourage you to go to gracepacks.org and take a look at their website, get information. If you can provide a donation, whether it's food or monetary, we really want to encourage you to make a difference in a child's life this year. And what a difference even a dollar can make, or whatever you can provide. We really want to encourage you. And if you want to volunteer, that's an even better experience. But we want to encourage you to take a look at that, and we hope to see you soon in one of our locations and just providing and knowing that you made a difference in a child's life.
Yes.
We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.